DishWorld IPTV service on the Roku box. Now, the previous DishWorld service had its share of issues with IPTV set-top boxes that didn't work correctly for various number of reasons, but they've gotten rid of all that, and they've now got this DishWorld, what you call channel, on the Roku box. So Roku actually has several different channels that you can add to your Roku box during the setup process. There's actually a channel store where you can grab new channels, and this happens to be the DishWorld channel. And this channel actually is an application which has various different Indian and other international channels.
And you also, I read somewhere, had mentioned that why run behind 100, why run behind a 185 not out? Sometimes contribution can...
You'll notice that the picture takes a second or two to adjust, but the actual channels are here. Now, because this is all delivered over the internet, there's actually no need for actual channel numbers. So what they have here is a guide with various different logos, and you'll see that that includes the majority of the South Asian channels that are carried on Dish, and of course this service is also going to be available for Arabic channels, as well as channels from Brazil as well, and hopefully more in the future. So right now, I'll turn to a channel here. You'll notice that because it's an IPTV service, it's actually caching or saving all of these shows on some sort of server in the back end. So any show that was within the last 48 hours, they have this service called 48-hour rewind. So you can actually watch it from the beginning or choose to watch a show live. So if I actually click on the channel logo here, you'll see that you can actually look at the shows that were within the last 48 hours. So for example, for this particular show, if I want to watch it, it turns to it right away, and I can choose watch. And so now I'm going to press the B button on the remote, and that brings up the shows that are on this particular channel. If I press the A button, then you get the sort of setup menu, which includes screensaver options. You can name your device. You can actually change the bandwidth that options on your device. I'd imagine you'd want to leave this unlimited. I can't find very many reasons, unless you have a bandwidth cap, that you'd want to limit your bandwidth. Support, actually they have a debug mode, so they probably have some sort of debug logging they can grab off of this application. Parental controls that you could set. You could actually have a passcode if you need that. You also have an options button here. So if I go to options, I can go to the guide, which you had seen earlier. There you go. You can actually see the guide that you'd seen earlier here. And like I said, the channel changing is actually quite quick. You can, like I said, watch live. You can choose to channel change that way, or you can actually choose to channel change this way as well. Pressing down on the remote goes through the channels, and once you choose a channel there, it'll automatically switch to that channel. So a couple of very different ways to go about changing channels on the guide. Another option is to do a search. So you can actually search for shows. So for example, in this case I've searched for a show with this particular name, and it'll show you all of the different airings for that show. And there you go. So in this case I was looking for this show, which is on the sub network, SAB, and here's all different airings for that, and I can take a look at the airings that were today. And so for example, I could actually... So another excellent option is the ability to look at shows that were in the past, as we've talked about earlier, but we can also do a search for shows that were star a particular actor or actress. So in this particular case, I'm going to choose this movie, and if I go to more info, I could see some other additional information. You can actually click on a director name, a cast name, and then find out from other shows that starred this person. So just for example's sake, I'm going to use this actress here and click on the name, and it looks like there's 2 movies that star this particular actress, and they're both available to watch right now. So I'm going to click watch and be able to go ahead and watch that movie. This actually has a fast forward function as well, but although for some reason they placed it in seconds, I don't know about you, but it's not very easy for me to calculate seconds to minutes, so hopefully that's a change that they make in the future. Another thing to add would be to make sure that they have the guide data for these channels correctly. That's not entirely Dish's fault, unfortunately. They tend to receive bad guide data from many of these providers, so even though you have a 48-hour rewind function and you can take a look at shows that occurred in the past, there's no guarantee that what you're looking at here, these show names, are actually correct. So you may, depending on the channel, have to do a little bit of guesswork, but it's a nice function to have anyways for the channels that actually do work correctly. And needless to say, of course, you have all your 3 cricket channels here, and being able to go through and find out all the different cricket games that are possible to watch and be able to see the info for that is very useful as well. I'd probably recommend that it add actually that sort of info right here on this screen rather than you having to click through every single entry here, but nonetheless, definitely appreciate it all the same. So that's been your first look at the DishWorld IPTV service on the Roku box.